Okay, thanks for joining me for today's Pilates. Let's stand tall, feet hip width apart, shoulders down, our back, our spine long. So as though we're being pulled up by a string through the crown of the head. Working on our pelvic floor, let's draw our pelvic floor up and let's draw our lower abdomen in between our hips. So that's our T-zone, the vertical of our T representing drawing the pelvic floor up, and our transverse abdominis muscle which goes around our lower back, around our hips, deep inside our abdomen, just drawing that in. So almost like we're drawing our hips up towards our rib cage. We want to bring our shoulders back, but we don't want to pop our lower ribs out, so they're sliding down towards our hip bones as well as our hip bones pointing up to our lower rib cage. So drawing up through the legs, nice as tall as we can. Let's inhale, take our hands over our head. Exhale, bring our arms down. Inhale through our nose if you can. Exhale gently out through the mouth as you bring the arms down. Your shoulders will come up as you take your arms over your head, but we're not trying to hunch them up around our ears. Pressing down on all four corners of our feet, so feel that mound under our big toe pushing into the floor as well as the outer sides and the backs of the heels. All meeting down onto the mat.
Simon and Joe both invested stocks.
Oh, we've got a good ad on our music here. Okay, this time let's inhale, go up on our toes, taking our arms over our head, and exhale, come down. If it's too wobbly on your mat, come off the mat. And again, inhale, up on our toes. Keep that going. I'll just turn this background noise off.
Download eToro and invest in stocks without paying commission.
Okay, sorry about that. Hopefully it won't keep going. Alright, you've done enough up and down on your toes. I want you now to take a great big step forward. Back leg straight, back heel will be off the ground, front leg straight. Hands starting on our hips. You might choose actually to come off your mat if it's a bit too wobbly. Okay, and then as we lunge forward, we're going to bring our hands down by our hips. So front knee bends, back leg stays straight. Then we're going to inhale our arms up near our ears. Exhale them back near our hips and come up. Inhale, let's go forward. Exhale, inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, hands back by the hips, straighten the front leg. So we'll do it all in one motion. Inhale, lunge forward, arms over our head. Exhale, bring them back to our hips as we straighten that front leg. Inhale forward, so the back leg's not changing, it's remaining straight. Just the front leg lunging, bending. Keep that going, a couple more on this side. Keeping that T-zone switched on helps our balance. And then bring our feet back together. Okay, let's take our other leg forward. Back leg straight, front leg straight for starters, and we'll go straight into the movement. As we inhale, we'll bend that front knee, swing our arms forward near our ears, and then exhale, straighten both legs. And again. Just at the pace of your breath, so not too quickly. Inhaling, arms up and lunging forward. Exhale back. Do 4 more. and then step our feet together. Okay, now we're going to stand with our feet as wide apart as we can and our hands on our hips. This time we're just going to take a breath to prepare. Draw the T-zone in. As you exhale, you're bringing your chest forward parallel to the ground, legs are straight, and then inhaling up again. On your next one, as you come down, you're going to bring your hands pointing out in front of your head. So, and then back to your hips as you come up. I'll go side on. Inhale, prepared. Exhale. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge. So keep lifting that belly up. Two more. Good job. Okay, we're going to go back into our first lunge position. My right leg forward. This time, keeping the body upright, you can bend both legs. So the back knee is bending towards the ground if your knee allows that. Front knee bending. So we're just going slowly up and down. Shoulders are back and down. This time stay down in your lunge. Front knee bent, back knee bent as much as I can, and some gentle small pulses. So feeling the stretch through this left hip. Feeling the work of the right leg, and then bring yourself up. And we'll do the other side, so left leg forward, right leg back, if that's the other side, unless you were the other way. So this time lunging down and up, both legs bending. You'll notice my right knee at the back will bend a lot more than my left knee would allow. You don't have to go down all the way to the floor, just to where your body is comfortable taking you down. Okay, staying down in your lunge, some small pulses. And then rising up, joining our feet together. Feet together at the back of the mat. We'll go into our roll downs. So like we started originally, standing tall. And then inhaling to prepare, exhaling, drawing in that T-zone and rolling our head. Then our shoulders. Then one vertebra at a time, trying to come up and over. Pulling that belly up, pulling the navel up towards the roof. Going as far as you can on your exhalation. Inhale at the base. And then as you exhale, stack up from the bottom of the spine to the top. Rolling up and over, like on a pulley. And we'll do 5 more slow roll downs. Might go a little bit further each time. Your legs might not necessarily be completely straight if you're tight in your lower back or your hamstrings. And on our next one, we'll stay hanging forward. You can go into a ragdoll, so joining our fingers into our creases of our elbows. Let's just have a little sway from side to side of our upper body. And then we'll walk our hands out to downward dog, and in downward dog, our tailbone up in the air, and you can walk the heels up and down. So just staying in downward dog, walking the heels. From downward dog, we'll shift our weight forward until we come into a plank position. Your plank could be from your toes, or you could drop your knees and untuck your toes, still lifting up through the T-zone, so navel pulling up towards the back of your spine. So we'll find our plank, whatever suits you. And then push back up into downward dog again. And next time we come to plank, we're going to start bringing our right knee in to the middle of our chest. So come back to your plank, draw your right knee into your chest and then extend it behind you. And then place that foot down and come back into downward dog for a rest. Come forward into your plank, and if you've got your knee down, you can do the same thing, knee into the elbow and extend. So 2 options there, depending on your arm and your shoulder strength. And rest that foot down. Drop the knees for a moment and come back into child's pose just to give your wrists a little rest. And we're coming out into plank one more time. This time we've got alternate knees coming into the opposite elbow. So a little twist in the torso. So you take your right knee to your left elbow and your left knee to the right elbow. Big deep breaths as you do it. Four more. And then drop the knees, and again you get the lovely child's pose as a rest. Okay. Coming up onto all fours, we're going to lift our left leg and straighten it, toe down to the floor behind us. So a straight left leg, bent, and weight on the right knee. Tuck the toes forward so that you have your foot flexed, and then lift the heel up. Tap down to the floor. Lift, tap. Make sure our shoulder blades are down our back. Our head is looking down to the mat, keeping a straight spine as much as we can. And then bring that left knee in to join the other knee, and then we're taking the same leg out to the side. Knee bent, lifting and opening up that hip. Keep on drawing up the navel. Button it up on the spine. And then rest that left leg in. Working on our right leg straight, toes to the floor, heel gets taken up to the roof. Tap, up, tap, up. Make sure the weight of your shoulders is directly over the wrists. Okay, draw that right knee in by the left and then open the right knee out to the side, keeping the 90-degree angle in the knee. And rest down. Okay, bringing ourselves all the way down now onto our tummies. Take your feet as a little bit wider than the mat. Bring your hands directly under your elbows. So if you lift your thumbs, you can tickle your, not elbows, shoulders, shoulder tips. Bring your wings or your elbows close to the sides of your rib cage. And then as we inhale, we're going to push our feet, tops of our feet into the floor and lift our chest. Exhale, keep the elbows in close, lower down. Inhale, come up, exhale down. So, inhale, you're rising, exhale, coming down. Keep that T-zone engaged so that we're not losing control through that belly. Working the backs of our upper arms here, our triceps. You may not come up very high. Lower back may prevent you coming right up. So just come where you would like to. 2 more. And then lower down, resting the head on the hands, the forehead, keeping the face down to the mat. Keep the knees as wide as the mat and bring the heels together. From here, as we inhale, we're going to lift our heels towards the roof and lower down. So when I say lift them towards the roof, it may not be very far that you're getting those knees or thighs off the ground. So lift, lower. Not too fast. Lift, lower. Keep that going. Okay, relax the legs down. Going to have a rest for a moment and I'll just check that we are still filming. Yep, looks like it. Good. Okay, turning over now onto your bottom. With your feet on the floor and the knees bent. Okay, so we're sitting up, nice straight back. We're going to roll back. So inhale, prepare, exhale, scoop that belly, come back to wherever you can. And then we're going to inhale, raise our hands up above our head and hold for the count of 3, 2, 1. Arms back in forward and curl up. Arms can stay in forward as you curl back. Take them above your head. 1, 2, 3. Arms forward and up. Roll back. Arms over our head. 1, 2, 3. Arms forward and up. We've got 2 more of these. Roll back. Arms over our head. 2, 3. Forward and up. Last one. Let's count for 4. 3, 2, 1, and up. Get stuck. Straighten our legs up, out, Pilates stance. So draw the inner thighs towards each other, wrap the outer thighs around, sit up tall, arms in front, and then we're going to curl our way all the way back down to the mat. Okay, and then we're going into hundreds. So option 1 with hundreds is feet remain on the floor, knees bent to the ceiling. Option 2, tabletop, both legs off the floor, T-zone engaged at all times. Option 3, straight legs. Raise our head and chest as much as we can, bring our arms forward and pulse them. As we breathe in for 5 and out for 5. Three more breaths. And rest our hands down and our head down before we set up for our bicycle. So with our bicycle, we switch our T-zone on. We slightly imprint our lower back to the floor and bring our legs back into tabletop. Keep the knees and ankles hip width apart. Raise the head and shoulders and rest it in your hands gently. And then we're just bicycling our legs. So lift the head and shoulders or the shoulder blades off the mat as much as you can. Scooping in this belly. Reverse your bike. Ooh. It's a bit wobbly, this bike, going backwards. And then come back into tabletop, rest the head down and bring the feet down to the floor. Okay, we're going into a bridge now, but I want your feet outside the edge of the width of the mat. So quite wide feet. They can be out on an angle. Bring them back as close to your bottom as you can. Hands down by your hips. And then we're going to push up into our bridge. So lift our hips up towards the sky. And then lower down. Touch just gently. Push up again. And lower. Up. Lower. Don't let the knees collapse inwards. Keep them out wide too. And then lower the hips to the floor. Okay, we're going to go into some abdominal curls. So this time we're going to take one leg straight in the air and then the other leg straight into the air. And then our hands are reaching towards our toes. And as we will inhale, prepare, exhale, we'll lift our shoulder blades off the mat and reach towards those feet. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. Keep that going. feel those ribs sliding down towards the hip bones. And then bring our knees to the chest and have a rock from side to side. And then we're going to place our outsides of our feet on the floor, our soles of our feet together, as close again to your bottom as you can. We're going up into a bridge once more. So feet together, knees obviously falling apart, and then push up on those feet, lift the hips. Lower the hips and lift. Lower, lift. Keep drawing in that T-zone. Squeeze the butt for good measure at the top of the bridge. One more. And lower down. Okay, go back to our abdominal curls. This time both legs in the air, but then we're going to lower one out at 45 degrees. If it's too much, you can bend that one leg. So one leg pointing to the roof, one pointing out at 45 degrees. First of all, we reach up to the foot that's pointing towards the roof, lower down, and then reach forward to the leg on the 45. So up, down, forward, down, up, down, forward, down, up, down, forward, down. Keep that pelvic floor pulled in, down, forward, down, up, down, forward, down, up, down, forward, down. Hug the knees in and have a rest. Remember which leg you had up. Okay, working the other way, so other leg pointing to the roof and opposite out at the 45. Reaching to the roof, lower, reach forward, lower, up, down, forward, down, 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 and rest. Woo! Big stretch of the legs and the arms over the head. Well, not the legs over the head, legs out straight, arms over the head. Okay, coming back, legs, knees bent, feet on the floor. This time we're going to bring one knee towards our chest and do a one-legged bridge. So I've got my left knee towards my chest, bent knee, and then I'm going to push up on my right foot and lower. Push, lower, push, lower, push, lower, push, lower, push, lower, push, lower, push, lower. Place that foot down. Left foot down, bring the right knee to the chest, get the left heel in by the buttock as close as you can and lift, lower, lift, lower. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax for a moment again. Okay, working a little bit on our oblique tummy muscles either side of our waist. We're going to have our hands by our side and our legs Pilates stance and straight on the floor. Inhale, raise the head and shoulders, and then we're just going to reach with our left arm towards our left knee, and then come back to center. Keep the head and shoulders up, tuck the chin, reach back. Reach, so we're only reaching to our left side, coming back to center. Left, center, left, drawing in this belly. T-zone zipped up. Feeling the crunch of that left-hand side of our waist. If it's a bit much for your neck, you could even take your right hand behind your head and just support it just a little bit. And come back to center and lower down. Okay, working on our right side now. Again, support your head, lift your head and shoulders, support it with a hand if you want to, otherwise just left hand on the floor, and then reach to the right knee, outside of the right knee. Reach back, reach back. Come back to center and lower down. Alright, your choice whether you leave your right leg bent, knee to ceiling, or straight. We're taking our left leg up in the air, and then we're doing leg circles with our left leg, which means we go down the midline, out and around back to our starting point. So you can have that right leg straight. Just need to switch on your T-zone a little bit more so that your torso is well supported with these abdominal muscles. The circle doesn't have to be any size, it can be quite still. It's more important that we're engaging our muscles to keep our body still. Okay, reverse the direction. And rest your left leg down. And then we can start the right leg. So again, left leg can be bent, knee bent, or out straight. Go down towards the floor with your right and up and around the outside. We're trying to slide the lower rib cage down towards the hips, so keep flattening it down. Reverse the direction. And then relax that leg down on the floor. Okay, before we go on our side, we'll just go into some roll-ups. So with our roll-ups, we inhale our arms over our head. Don't pop your rib cage up. Exhale, curl up to wherever you can. Head and shoulders off the ground. If you can bring the whole body up into an upright position and reach forward. And then down one vertebra at a time. On our next roll up, staying seated, reaching forward as much as we can with our arms parallel to the ground, really stretching through those shoulders and back. Keep popping the belly in. And then bring our hands down, turning onto our side. Keep your bottom on the ground and come down and lean on one elbow. And then bring your feet out a little bit in front of the hip, so in a semi-piked sort of position. Then we're just going to do, top hand can either come on the ground in front of you for balance, or resting along that top leg. Then we're going to do a double leg lift, so lifting both legs up and down off the ground. So really feeling a bit of work happening in the sides of your waist here, top waist. Okay, bringing your feet only a little bit off the ground now, and then we're going to open and close the top leg. Try not to roll back too much. Try not to roll that top hip backwards too much. And rest both legs down. We'll just go try our double leg lift again and lower. If it's too much up on your elbow, it's too much on your lower hip, just go down, lay down flat and do a double leg lift. Flat down on your chin, on the side of your body. Okay, both legs slightly off the ground and then lift that top leg again. And feet together, rest them on the ground and lower all the way down onto the mat. You can rest your head in your hand or lay it down on an extended arm. Take our top knee and point it towards the roof with the sole of the foot on the ground and extend our bottom leg. Hand can be resting on the floor in front of you, and then we're just lifting and lengthening our bottom leg. And lower that leg down. Bring both legs out straight. Then we're going to lift them so that the top foot is about hip height and the bottom leg is a few inches lower, and then just scissor forward and back. So really engaging this T-zone. Try and keep the hips stacked on top of each other. Not too fast, just controlled, making sure we're not wobbling too much through our upper body. Bring our feet back together, lift the top leg up hip height, join it with the bottom foot and then circle that bottom foot. Not too fast, control it. Other direction. Bring the feet together and lower them down. Okay, we'll just do a clam on this side. So let's have our both sides of our waist long. So really lengthen through both sides of our waist. Have our knees bent and in front of us and our feet in line with our upper body. We're going to then just open the top knee without rocking backwards. So hips stay still, open the knee and close. Not a big movement. You should be able to feel that gluteal muscle in your butt working as you just lift that top knee. And lower down. Good job. Okay, let's swing ourselves around and lay on the other side. So on our elbow for starters, bottom on the floor and legs parked slightly in front of us. Top hand can be here for balance, and we're doing our double leg lift. So lift, lower, lift, lower. Feeling the top waist here working. Lower the legs until the bottom leg's only an inch or so off the ground, and then lift and lower the top leg. And lower both legs down, just have a rest for a moment. And then we'll set up again for our double leg lifts. And then our single upper leg lift. And then both legs down. Lower ourselves all the way down to the mat, top arm extended or head resting in your hand. Bring our top leg, knee towards the roof, and our foot, sole of our foot on the ground, pointing away from us. And then we'll do a lower leg lift. Lift and lengthen that lower leg as much as you can, really working that upper inner thigh. Okay, lower that leg to the ground, extend both legs, and we'll come into our scissors. So lift our feet off the ground and then scissoring forwards and backwards. And feet together and lower them down. Okay, finishing off this side with a clam, so bend the knees forward, lengthen through our waist, lift our lower waist off the mat here, and then open the knee. Really focusing on here on drawing in your T-zone. Okay, knees together, and let's roll onto our back for our last exercise before we stretch. So bend our knees towards the roof, feet on the floor, head in our clasped hands, and then lift our head and shoulders off the ground. So we already have an abdominal crunch going on here. We're drawing our ribs to our hips, and then we're going to draw our knees to our chest for a reverse crunch and tap them back to the ground. So try and keep the head and shoulders off the mat. Draw those knees in towards our chest. Tap down, in, tap down. And rest the feet to the floor. Good job. Okay, stretch time. Let's take a left leg to the ceiling and point the toe, and then push the heel towards the roof. Point the toe, push the heel. Toe, heel. Toe, heel. Now circle that ankle in one way and then the other way. And then toes pointing down towards your nose. Really push up towards the ceiling with your heel, and then you can gradually bring that leg towards your chest, keeping it as straight as you can and feeling that stretch behind the leg. Take a couple of really big deep breaths as you stretch. And then bend that foot back down to the floor, other leg to the ceiling. So right leg, point the toe, flex the heel. Point the toe, flex. Point, flex. Point, flex, and circle the ankle. The other way. And then point the toes towards the nose and bring that leg towards you wherever you can. Bring that foot down onto the floor and roll onto your side with your arms extended out, hands together, your knees bent, and then as you inhale, open your top arm, take it over to the other side, opening up the chest, but leaving the knees down on the floor. Might reach all the way to the other side, but your arm might be floating a bit in the air. So getting a real twist through our torso. And then just try and take some nice deep breaths here. Bringing the knees to centre now, and then taking the arms all the way to the other side, knees bent, and we'll open our book to the other side. And try and breathe away into the stretch. And try and relax as you exhale each breath. Knees back to centre, just gently. And then hug both knees into the chest as much as you can. You can have a little rock forward and back or side to side, but really hugging those knees in tight. over onto our all fours. So coming over onto all fours. We're going to tuck our toes under and push our butts into the sky for downward dog. This time really pushing away from the palms of the hands and trying to draw the heels towards the mat as much as you can, and really feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. Now push a little bit deeper into the base of the big toe, as well as pushing the heels towards the mat. Okay, coming up on your toes and walking your feet forward towards your hands, and then hanging forward. Taking your hands behind your back, clasp them together and raise them up towards the ceiling or even towards the front of your mat. As you inhale, pull your arms up towards the sky and lift your chest until you come to standing. And then start to pull the shoulders back and down and the hands back down towards the floor. Really opening up the chest, taking some big deep breaths. And then release the arms down by your side. Take one arm up to the ceiling and the other arm down by the side of your thigh, getting a stretch through the outside of your rib cage. And then swapping sides, bring that arm down, the other arm up and over. Both arms down. Finishing how we started with 3 big deep breaths, breathing in, arms above our head, exhale, bring them back down by our sides. 2 more. And last one. Bringing our hands together for a clap. Well done. Thank you everyone for joining me. See you next time.